All right, so I picked up this copy of Knife Edge Nose Gunner for the Nintendo 64, and I bought it. It says on this label, not working, chipped board. I looked inside and I thought, oh, that's not so bad. And then I looked at the underside and there's actually a pad that's pretty jacked up. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to look at it, and this video might turn into a fix. I'm not really sure, but I've gone ahead and plugged it in and it doesn't work. So just take my word for it. I put this in a console and it didn't do anything. So let's get a Gamebit driver here. I believe it uses the smaller one. Watch, I'm going to be wrong. Oh, no, I'm right. How about that? And I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Check that out. That rust is pretty rough. And in looking at this guy, you can see it's just disgusting. There's nothing that I can do for this. Particularly if you look right here, you can see, maybe you can, maybe you can't, where some of the contact pads, yeah, there you go. Some of the contact pads have just completely eroded. To my knowledge, there's not an easy way to fix that. But what's interesting about this game is that there's no save ROM. So I think that I can fix this. What I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to go ahead and just take this out and set that to the side. I'll probably do a little clean off screen. I won't bore you guys with cleaning stuff. But I've got my screws, and I'm assuming that these chips are probably good. So all I need is, there's a board. If you look right there, it's really hard to see. I know, my apologies, but it says NUS 01802, and that's the motherboard revision. So I've got a stack of some cheapo games that I bought from my local video game store, and particularly I bought them because they have a specific motherboard revision. Now, I picked these up for, less than $10 a piece. And it's not because I love Wiley Country Club True Golf Classics. No, it's because I want to take the board out of it. So I'll show you once I get this board out that it's actually, hopefully, should be the same revision. And I'll link something to a website. And watch, I'm going to be wrong when I do this. I'm not going to be able to use that. This is an NUS 03. So I wonder if I got bad information or if maybe, I don't know. Let's try another one. Let me put this back together real quick. I will right my wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that these two are the exact same board. I did buy Mission Impossible, which might be a really fun game, I don't know. But I'm gonna take apart F1 World Grand Prix next. And I really hope that this is the board I need. I should be able to know as soon as I take the back off. Yes, okay. So at the very least, we know it's the right size. So I'm gonna continue on. Again, I haven't tested this, but I'm actually looking at the contacts, and the contacts look very shiny. So whoever bought this Mission Impossible either didn't. Oh my gosh, look how clean that board is. That's brand new looking. But so if you compare these two boards, they're both the same, except this one has a ROM memory chip down here, and this one doesn't. And that's because this game, the game that I bought, Knife Edge, doesn't actually save your game. This is one of the old school methods where you would put the password in and you would advance. But I haven't played this game before, but I don't think there's any password. I think it's just like an arcade style. You turn it on and you go to town. So I have a lot of faith in my local game store that this works. So what I'm going to do though is I'm still going to plug it up and I'm going to turn on the console and test the game, because it's not that I don't trust them. It's just, you know, trust but verify.
T&E saw.
I am so sorry. This whole time I was talking, and as soon as I switched over to the system, I didn't have my microphone turned on. So sorry, I was talking and it probably just cut my voice off. So, but anyway, why I lay Country Club does indeed work. And I did hook this up earlier. Knife Runner does not. But let's plug in the F1 Grand Prix. And to do that, I'm just gonna pop this shell back on. I do have a rumble pack inserted. Wow. Cool. Yeah, that works. All right. So verified, I'm just gonna shove that off to the side. We verified that at least the motherboard works, so nothing wrong with that. We'll go ahead and get cracking. I'm gonna go ahead and switch my video feed back over. And that way you can see my full desk in all of its messy glory. All right, so here's the fun part. So this is gonna require some soldering. If you don't have all the same tools I have, it's fine. I just really enjoy some of the tools. I'm using a Hakko soldering iron, and then I have a Hakko desolder gun, and it just makes life so much easier. And I don't know how I ever lived without one. If you have just a normal soldering iron, you can still do this. It'll just be really tedious. And whenever you're working with these pins, and they have a million of these little points, it's really tedious to go through. So the first thing I want to do though is I should probably indicate which chip is which. So let me get some blue painter's tape, because I know if I don't mark these and I go to do work on them, something's going to distract me and I'm going to forget. So for this one, I'll mark knife edge with the blue tape for now. Okay, so got my stuff heated up. And what I want to do is I'm going to basically just swap these over. I really don't care too much about the F1 Grand Prix, but I'm probably going to save the chips anyway, just because, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So what I'm going to want to do is at least, I need to take all of these off. So I have got my desolder gun, and I'm telling you, this thing makes quick work of everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make real easy on myself. You can go ahead and add solder to all this stuff, but I just add some flux, just a little bit of flux paste, and I just start going to town. And you want to be very careful. If you're going to use a desoldering gun like this, check your heat, make sure it's not too hot, and don't touch the pad. Gently swirl around the contact. So I just did that, and two of the chips came out just as I lifted the board up, and this one just took a little bit of love. So boom, just like that. I've got a clean board, no worries. So these are all the chips from my F1 World Grand Prix game. I'm gonna set those off to the side and don't do what I did and bend all the pins. So one thing I'm gonna look at, I bent the pins of another game that I did, and I can't confirm if these are the same because the markings are slightly different. However, the chip is the same number. And I believe the other markings, for example, this one says 646H47. This one says 816H91. I think that has something to do with production order and not actually any function of the chip. So this board is good to go, and I'm gonna set that off to the side. Now let's desolder from our knife's edge board here. So again, I've got crappy contacts here, but I've got some glorious ones here. These are the same board revision. I'm literally just gonna move this to here. It will not do me any good to try to install this ROM chip from the F1 Grand Prix. It won't change the game. It won't make it save magically. That's just not how stuff works, you know? Ooh, I just pulled off the back of this and man, there's some nasty rust on these vias. But good news is we're abandoning this board anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So once again, I am, I think I've burnt a hole in this thing. In fact, that's exactly what's happened. So I'll have to change out my nozzle. But back to our handy dandy solder gun. Once again, I'm just hitting the edges. I'm hitting the edges. I'm not, you know, you can touch the pad slightly, but don't rest on that pad. It will come right up. And there's no repairing that. Now, this is a broken board anyway, so I'm not being clean with it. There's no point. Broken board anyway, right? Right. And my chips. Now, one thing before I pull this out, it's really important to note, these chips, the orientation, right? You should always look for the notch on the cymbal. If you forget, just take a photo. Take the time, get your phone out, take a photo. One of these is held up right now. Come on, baby. Oop, you came out. And boy, this guy on the end here, is that bent? I think that's bent. I think whoever soldered this in bent that last pin. Yeah, they did. Last couple ones, actually. Okay, well, fix that. Just don't know if that was intentional, but oh no. Well, and that's why you want to be careful, but it's okay. Nothing I can't fix here. Yeah, that was actually corroded in some way and attached to the pad. Okay, but what I was saying was the orientation is important. So while all this text on the board is reading down, we actually want to pay attention to the notch. So on the boards, there's a notch that shows you the orientation that matches the notch of the chip. So take your time, reseat that bad boy, and don't rip stuff out like I do. Yeah, whoever did this totally bent that pin when they were putting it in. And they thought we wouldn't notice. But we did. I'm gonna see if I can. There's some debris on this. You can't see it, but I can. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a little hook on this. So we can trash this board. We know that's gone. It's much better. It's getting there. Man, that's a real pain. Oh. Oh. Boom. All right. Trust me, make your life easier. Once you've done it, take your painter's tape, just tack it in place. You'll see why in a second. And then same goes for this chip. The orientation was up. There's actually not a notch on this one that I can see. Oh yeah, it's there. It's just very, very small. But I looked at it and I know the writing matched the other chip. So it's upside down on this. And once again, I'm going to take my painter's tape, tack that bad boy down. All right, now we're good to solder it back. Now, I'm not a pro with this. I never made any claims to be, but I like drag soldering. And I don't know if I'm good at it, but, you know, I'm not too bad at it. I'm concerned now. I'm concerned that I ripped a pad off, and I think I did. But the good news is I might be able to salvage that connection. Yeah, I think when I don't know. Really don't know, actually. Because down here, yeah. Something's definitely whack with that, but I'm going to clean the board and I'm going to test it and I'm going to see if it still works. Because, you know, I'm not saying it's a worthless pen, but it might be a worthless pen. Might not actually need it. Just isopropyl alcohol on that, nothing crazy. Let me look. I'm glad I didn't throw this away. Now that I have this off, I'm looking at this same pad. Okay. And on this side here, I want to know where this pad goes. So thankfully I've got a board here where if I needed to, I can trace that pad. And you know what? I feel like I need to, because I want to see before I even try to plug this thing in, because I might try to blame it on a million things when at the end of the day, it could just be a really simple thing. And I can run a jumper wire. This game is not, I'm not going to resell this. This is a game that I just wanted to own. And quite honestly, I did this video just because I wanted to fix something. So this via goes through, I don't really know. None of those pins. I wonder if it's just a moot, if it doesn't do anything, because, I mean, that'd be cool, right? So I'm just holding my continuity here. I mean, where do you go? I can't find anywhere that this goes. I mean, truly. Maybe we don't even need that. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? Because I checked the other chip and I don't think I ripped it off. So let's get our, let's put, you know what? Let's put this game back in the F1 case because, you know, nah, let's not do that. But what I am going to do is I am going to take the shielding from it because remember this old shielding was rusty. And instead of cleaning that right now and making this video any longer than it has to be, I think I'm just going to take this and use it. So put you back in, get the front, no. Get you. And probably should clean a little bit of that rust off. Just see if some IPA can do something. Not going to affect the functionality of the game, but you know, while I have it open, I might do a little bit of something to it. I'll be all right. Better than nothing, right? Okay. Put you back on there. And then I always get this wrong. Every single time I get this wrong. Okay. Yep. And wouldn't you know, I got it wrong again. All right, so let's drop this bad boy back in there. A couple screws. Remember, this game doesn't save, so that's why I did not put the small ROM chip that I removed, that tiny one. That's why I didn't put it back in there, because again, it's not going to do anything magical. It is not going to make that game save. Be pretty cool, though, if for some reason it did, but, you know, it's not going to. It's just, would be cool. And that's what I get for doing stuff out of step. I don't need to blow on the cartridge, but yeah. So once again, to recap, I'm gonna go ahead and get my screen ready. So to recap, this was the old board. It was chipped, bad news bears. I took the ROM chips out. I also took the ROM chips out of this game, F1 World Grand Prix. Those are sitting right here. And I just put those ROM chips over for knife edge nose gunner, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, let's just pop it in, cold, start it up. And would you look at that? It's a little delayed on your end, but man, listen to that music. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there's a story mode. I don't know, it's just, what is story mode? Amethyst Ravine. This looks like a complete Star Wars ripoff. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I can't see it. Oh my gosh, it's inverted. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of cool. I've never seen a game like that. That's kind of cool. All right, all right. I'm not flying, by the way. I'm just controlling the gun. Okay, so the R button takes me back to center screen. I have Vulcan level 2. I have shield. Okay. All right, so I can kind of maneuver with the C buttons. Okay. Oh, that's weird. What does B do? B doesn't seem to... A does some sort of lock-on thing. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Sir. Oh, that was cool. Oh, when it locks on, you press A. Oh, okay, okay. This is the boss. I can't lock on to him, though. But I can lock on to... Oh. One of the bosses, per se. Okay, so you can get health back. It's kind of a cool game. I'm not very good at it, but it's cool. Kind of one of those games that I bet if it's a cousin game, right? Isn't that what they call them? Like, it's a game you would never buy, but your cousin have it, so you would go over to your cousin's house. You have Vulcan level 4. What does that mean? L doesn't do anything. No, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of neat. It's that game that you'd play that, you know, you would try to tell your friends about it when you're in your 20s. You're like, you guys remember that one game for the Nintendo? And they're like, no, bro, I've never heard of that game. Oh, okay, okay. I have hostiles on scanner. It's the alien ship that took out Armstrong. This could get ugly, Knife Edge. Oh, that's your name. Your name is Knife Edge, and you are a nose gunner. Oh. Knife Edge, he's directly above you. This is basically just Star Fox with different graphics. Legitimately, that's all it is. Star Fox with different graphics. Oh, so you're just destroying the things. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a really easy boss fight, unless it gets really hard. But I have no reason to believe that it's getting any harder than this. Now what? Now what do I shoot? Come here. Oh. What am I shooting at? Oh. Okay, maybe these things. Oh, wait, no, 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 no. I had something. There we go. The little toppy things. Okay, that one. Oh, boy. Oh, gosh. Okay, so you shoot the, okay. This feels like Area 51 now. God, wait, it's all over the place. Okay, so I destroyed his little side thingies. Okay, ow. Ah! I'm just taking it on the chin. Come on. Open up, open up. There it is. Huh. I'm not gonna lie, that's a cool little game. Now, I wonder if there's a co-op feature. So if I can't save, do I just quit? Let me see at the end of this. I think it might give me a password. Zulu 552. It's cool. So yeah, I mean, it's a, I think they call them railgunners or something. Huh. Well, cool thing is, got it working. So that was a successful save right there. So I think it's only fitting that we take this sticker off that says not working. So I'm gonna let that soak in a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And I think that was a pretty successful swap. You know, some might not call it a repair. I mean, I don't know. It fixed a game that was not playable before. And with a chip circuit board, there's not really anything you can do except swap it. I mean, you're not gonna sit there and try to repair that board. I know that much. This a little bit clean. Try not to get it on the label. And I did a little bit. That's okay. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's my game now anyway. F1 World Grand Prix, you died so that Knife Edge could live. So, how about that? That's pretty cool, huh?